Now there was a girl in Florida, Fort Myers, Florida, who was she was gangbanged by the football team. I think 25 boys from the school had sex with her in the washroom, and it hit the media and they talked about it. It was a scandal. And the thing about this is, first of all, these types of things are, I think, fairly common, and it's not something that's actually a new thing, but it is something that has been going on for a long time. Because if you go back to the early 2000s, 1990s, 1980s, 1970s, and so on, you can go back and you'll see that there's always been a certain girl who was promiscuous at a young age, like a sexually precocious girl, or the good time girl, the girl who the guys had sex with and then they married some other girl or whatever. I think that's been going on for a long time. It's not something that's new. What is new is that you have social media now. Everybody has they have camera phones, so it's easy for anyone to just take a video, and everybody's carrying a little video camera around in their pocket. Or not everybody, but a lot of people are carrying a little video camera in their pocket. They can take a photo or take a video of whatever's going on at a particular time. So anyone can just pull out pull out the phone and take a video, and then they can put it up on the internet, because the phones these devices are connected to the internet now. So that's the main difference. Because before, if you wanted to have a video camera, video cameras used to be big and heavy. So if in the 1980s, if the football team gangbanged a girl in the high school washroom in 1985, they would have had to carry a 500-pound or a big heavy camera and to videotape it, and that would be very awkward, and it just wouldn't happen. So that's why. And the other thing is, there wasn't the internet. You didn't have the internet. Maybe in the 1990s you had internet, but it wasn't as fast. Now you have this high-speed internet. You have these social media things, so that makes it easy for people to. So all these technologies make it easy for these kids to take photos or take videos of these sexual encounters, upload them to the internet, and then share them with other people, spread them around, disseminate them. So that's why you see these things happening now. It's not that they weren't happening before. It's that now they're being videotaped and put on the internet and shared. So that's what happens now. And so if you could go back in time, okay, and probably I'm sure a lot of people grew up with girls like that, these promiscuous type girls, who sexually precocious girls who are sexually active at a young age, promiscuous at a young age. And for example, there's a song by NWA, I think, called "She Swallowed It," and in the lyrics of the song, it says something about the girl. There's a movie theater, a drive-in movie theater, and there was a girl in a car getting gangbanged in a car at the drive-in, and the guy, the rapper in the song, he said that the girl was the 14-year-old preacher's daughter. The 14-year-old daughter of the preacher was getting gangbanged. And now, obviously, that song probably came out in the early 90s, and obviously these rap songs are not necessarily, or other kind of music are not necessarily going to be reality, or but they're likely inspired by things that really happen, or things they heard, or things they've experienced, and they take things that really happen and then change it a little bit, change the storyline a bit, and make it into a song. So you can bet that, or I wouldn't be surprised if that story was inspired by something similar that really happened, that he really experienced, or that he heard someone else talk about, or whatever. So that's just to show that, that's just to say that these things didn't just start happening in 2016. They were happening in the early 1990s, probably 1980s, 70s, and so on, 60s. And and the thing, and with these girls, one of the things that you see with a lot of these kinds of girls, the ones who are very young and very promiscuous at a young age, they tend to come from troubled backgrounds. So they basically just act out sexually. They may have been molested, abused at a young age. They may have problems in their family, whatever the case may be. But that's what tends to happen. And then the girls who have the more stable families tend to be less promiscuous, or they tend to lose their virginity at a later age. So the ones you see who are having sex at a very young age with a lot of different guys, 12, 13, whatever, 14, those are the ones who tend to come from the troubled backgrounds. And in this particular case, the girl in Florida, they say that she was sex trafficked. I think the mother said that she was sex trafficked. She was in therapy. And then I think the girl said on the internet, apparently she was saying something about her family. She was saying all her family is like that. She said apparently on social media, I don't know if this is accurate or not, but apparently on social media, the girl who was involved in the gangbang said that she was just carrying on her family tradition. So guess that would suggest that she has family problems, or anyway, she probably came from a troubled background. There was another girl who had sex with the same thing, had sex with the football team, and committed suicide maybe 2 years ago or something. I think her name was Garcia or something. Anyway, she also seemed to come from a troubled background. She was in foster care or something to that effect. There was another one before that, I think, who also did something similar. She had sex with a bunch of guys, and then there was a backlash against her, and then she committed suicide. So I think a lot of these girls come from troubled backgrounds, and what happens is the girls first of all, I think these girls don't have anybody to tell them maybe they shouldn't do that. They have no one to tell them, hey, maybe you shouldn't have sex with the whole football team, maybe that's not a good idea. So they have no one to restrain them. And so first of all, when kids reach puberty, obviously their bodies start to develop. They get a bunch of hormones, and they start to get sexual feelings, right? But I think these girls, from the troubled backgrounds and broken families and all that type of stuff, they don't have anyone to tell them, maybe to restrain them. Whereas the good girls from the good families, those are the ones who maybe wouldn't do all those. They would be more hesitant to engage in all that type of sexual behavior at a young age, because they're more concerned that their family might get upset with them and so on. Whereas the ones from the troubled families, they just have no one they just don't care. So anyway, so a lot of those girls come from troubled backgrounds. They have no one to tell them not to do certain things. They may probably use sex to get attention, get acceptance. Because if a girl, see, you could, the most part, a girl can get attention from the most popular guys in high school if she's gonna have sex with them. If the girl's having sex with the football team, obviously the football guys are gonna pay attention to her, or at least they'll pay attention to her, at least to use her sexually. So these girls, I think they want to get attention, acceptance, and all that stuff. And they use sex, which is the easiest way for them to get it. Then you have the popular kids in school. They kind of use these girls just for easy sex, because these girls are always these kind of these troubled girls are just easy, giving them easy sex and doing it. Like they're the ones who will do all kinds of freaky stuff with them, because there's a lot of girls would not let 25 guys gangbang them, but this other girl, or that girl with the troubled background, she was the one that would let them do it, or would do that with them. So they kind of use those girls because the girls make it easy for them. And the other thing I heard is they're saying that one website was saying that pornography, this was caused by porn, but that's, to me, is nonsense, because the thing is, porn is actually more available now than it used to be, because all these teenagers, adolescents have access to mobile devices, internet devices, so they can get porn whenever. Back in the past, maybe in the 1990s, like when NWA wrote that song about the girl in the movie theater getting gangbang, they didn't used to be, everybody didn't have access to the internet, so you couldn't get all that pornography so easily. I mean, I guess you have to go to a video store and show ID to get a VHS tape if you wanted to watch porn. So basically girls were still doing it, even though there was no porn. They were doing it anyway. And at the same time, today, not all girls are getting gangbanged by the football team. And if you look at it, if you look at the girls who are engaging in that behavior, which girls are doing that? It's the girls who who have the problems at home. The girls who come from maybe the girls who got abused at a young age. Those are the ones who are engaging in all this sexual activity, whereas even the good girl could have access to porn, right? The girl from the good family, she could have access to porn just the same way as the bad girl could have access to porn. But only the girl from the troubled background is doing all that extreme sexual behavior. So you have to say it's another factor involved. It's just like when they say violent video games cause school shootings and stuff like that. Like, everybody plays violent video games. You could have all the kids in school playing violent video games, but only one of them shoots up the school. Well, you have to look at other factors that would make the kid shoot up the school, make that particular kid shoot up the school. And same thing goes with these girls. If every kid has access to pornography, but only one of them is getting gangbanged by the football team, you have to look at other factors that would make that particular girl do that, engage in that sexual behavior. And I think it comes from having a troubled background.